Hello, wonderful people. All right, today I want to talk about how improv changed my life from a journey of the darkness of isolation to actually having meaningful relationships that bring me so much joy in my life, which at a time, I thought was impossible. So, this is for anybody who feels like they're isolated or they don't have any friends or something's wrong with them, just how I was when I was about 25. It's never too late. It's never too late to start again. You are not broken. You are always loved by the Holy Spirit. All right, even if you don't feel like it. Even if you don't feel like it, all things are possible of God. All right, and I'll give you an example. All right. So first, I want to start from the beginning. So, as you guys might know, if you watched the previous videos, first generation Polish American. Right. So I was, uh, I got raised in the suburbs of Chicago. Very popular. There's like a million Polish Americans living in Chicago or the Chicagoland area. I was one of them. Um, so even in my identity, I never really felt like I fit in. I was two worlds. A being of two worlds. That's why if you look at my profile picture, you might not see, but here, my avatar is a half elf, because I always really resonated with being in two worlds, but not really being in one. And I felt like, oh, if at first there's something wrong with me, I have to like pick either or. But I can see the beauty of this and that. You can be Polish and American, right? But nonetheless, I really struggled with my identity for the first couple of years when I moved to Poland for university, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to pay, um, the exuberant cost of university in the States. That's a story for another time. But anyway, so I mentioned I didn't fit in, and growing up, I had some friends. I'll say gaming friends, and I had two really close friends, Yusuf and Mikołaj. Uh, really amazing people. I hope they're doing well. Um, but even when we turned 18, like things started to change. Yusuf, I think, was very starting getting really stressed about his future. He didn't know what to do, and I think he had this work, and he's kind of getting stressed at work, and take that stress out on me. And Mikołaj actually moved back to Wisconsin. Of course, I had other. We had like small. I had a small group of friends, but those were my two closest friends, and other friends. Um, but our paths were diverging, right? And of course, I moved to a different country. At first, I really did try to connect online, but it just didn't work out. There's a huge time difference. It's like 7 hours. Um, and you know, I guess either sides didn't really want to commit to it. So I lost all my friends, all my friends. Um, in hindsight, I feel like I was entering a new season of my life, and I had to let those friends go. But if anyone had to deal with something like that, you know how hard it is. And I still have part of my soul that I really cherish that time, the memories of them. But I understand not everyone is here forever in your life. But it's hurtful. It's hurtful, and I didn't have the compassion in the voice telling me it's okay. It's okay. I had the opposite. Like, oh, something's wrong with you. You're guilty. You should be the one scheduling more time. It's contact is a two-way street. They didn't really reach out to me like, hey, Kahir, do you want to hang out? But I had this overwhelming shame and guilt that I lost contact with my friends. Like something's wrong with me. Um, yeah. So I had a very very long phase of being a loner, and I'm saying this with compassion, not like, oh, you're a loner. Just especially my first year here in Poland. Um, I also I'm gonna be totally honest on this podcast. So I went to study in Polytechnica, which is a very prestigious university for computer science. Even though I didn't have it in me, but like I wasn't very math or computer-based oriented. I only did it because, what they say, like, oh, you can make good money being a programmer. Even in Poland, people can make very, very good money. Not about programming, going in IT, whatever. But that feeling, I went there, I just felt the same feeling I had with marching band, like, oh, this is not for me, this is not for me. And I resigned like the first day because I'm like, I can't do this. I, I saw it. This is not for me. I just can't do it. And the amount of vitriol and rejection I experienced from my parents. It was like, what are you doing? I understand. Like for some people, it's I got lucky. I got lucky. It's a not everyone can get in there, um, but I just had to trust my intuition, guys, and it was it was tough. It was tough, and um, I I spent that time just like I mentioned, playing Counter Strike, just trying to escape because this is the thing, because we're isolated, depressed. I saw no way out. Even my own brothers at Kill, we weren't really uh like we were twins, but we had a lot of our own trauma, and he didn't show me any compassion, right? It wasn't until later that he also got kicked in the teeth by reality, and we actually connected. So, but but at the time it was super isolating. Um, and then I went to university for English teaching, and it was okay. Like, I met some nice people, but and some not so nice. So I connected with these guys playing D&D, and then also acting. It's kind of funny how the universe works that way. Um, but I don't know. I just felt like it was superficial. It wasn't really the connection that I really needed on a soul level. It just felt like I'm having friends just for the sake of having friends. And that's not a good feeling. I just know how to. It's not what the creator wants for us. You know what I mean? Like what the course teaches about having mighty companions, also the special relationship of friendship. You know, just how to put this into words. It's just like it felt like, yeah, more of the same old energy, the old energy of like I have gaming friends and they're not sure what they want to do for if their life. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. It's also a little bit mean. Like they would speak English to me, and I didn't have. See, I didn't even have the boundaries to say like, "Hey, I'd really like you guys to speak Polish to me." It was, all right. See, this is a people pleasing tendency. Um, but then I failed French because I told you guys I had this. Um, it was not the best environment. Friday evenings. Um, it's a group of I think it was like 15 students, and I felt judged every time I opened my mouth. This is the thing about infinite compassion beyond human measure, because what I was getting from the world and from my parents is like, you're being lazy. You're being lazy. It's your fault. It's your fault. How can you get healing when you have that mindset? Tell me. How can you heal the situation with that mindset? It's never worked for me. It's never worked for me. All right? It just made the situation worse because shame begets shame. Guilt begets guilt. Right? And so then those quote unquote friends I did have at university, I wasn't seeing them because I was going on a different year. And I felt so alone and isolated. I had no idea what to do. Also, I didn't even mention like, so when I went to this acting school, and I told you it was a very, very toxic environment, like having practices to 3 in the morning. They would smoke cigarettes, they had alcohol. They would, get drunk during school hours, like the teachers too, man. A weird, unhealthy, toxic environment for a pure little soul like mine. But honestly, like, I didn't realize it. This is why I keep saying, like, who are you letting into your temple of God? Right? Because I didn't have this frame of mind. I'm a blessed son of God. I deserve good, nourishing people into my life. I accepted that toxicity, right? And it was a very traumatizing, like, even like my peers, they yelled at me. They're like, this one girl, one day, she's like, oh, Garnisha! Like, I don't remember what, and I didn't have the self-compassion. I didn't. I was just like, I'm bad. I'm a piece of garbage. Something's wrong with me. And I didn't say like, you deserve so much more. You deserve so much more, beautiful soul. I'm getting emotional talking about it because it wasn't, recently until I started healthy gamer therapy that I started like unpacking all this like trauma that was inside of me, right? This is a very pain body inside of me, and um, already being like emotionally neglected by my parents, and just like looking at the world as a very scary place, and people are out to get you. Um, and then I had this acting experience. I just thought like people are not worth my time. Like I just threw the baby with the bathwater. This is also like from trauma response freeze. So just like people are awful. Ludzie są kurwy, you know. I'm just going to abandon any hope of making any meaningful connection. I'm going to isolate. Right, consciously, unconsciously, I started isolating. And one moment, it was peaceful, but at the same time, it just felt like, I was suffering. I was suffering. There was so much pain because even as an introvert, I still need human connection, just like everybody else. I don't need super much of it, but I need some of it. Like, and there's only so much, you can spend time with your twin brother. And it was very isolating, very isolating. Um, I did try these expat meetings. Um, there's this group called like it was like Warsaw Social, um, and then it got renamed to Warsaw Yaddle or something. um, I tried. It just didn't feel like me because I don't, um, I don't see myself as an expatriate, more of a repatriate. I don't. My parents think that's ridiculous, but it's just like I don't know if anyone is like first generation and you have like this strong connection to your country of origin. I always just felt a connection to Poland. I always did, even through the trauma in Polish school. I just always felt something was special about Poland to me, and like I said, always feeling Polish, getting ahead of myself. So I didn't really, um, no, I didn't really feel that like these expat meetings were the best. Plus, like every meeting was different. Some different people come in, and just also, like I said, it's not the environment for me, right? It's for extroverts, extroverted people that like going to bars or like origami or whatever. So I was just spinning my wheels. I was doing what the world says, go out, go out, go out, meet some people. It wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me. But I thought, oh, something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. I have to conform. I have to find, I have to keep going with the world script. There's sure, as long as I keep going out, even though I hate it, I'm going to, find my people. Bullshit. Bullshit. Actually, and I did have um, actually I did play D&D rather consistently with these guys, expats on Sunday. But that was actually quite rewarding. It's the first time I played as no, the second time I played as Kahir, because Kahir was from the Polish group I played. Oh, we also played in English. Also getting ahead of myself. But it was nice, but at the same time, it was like we only met to play D&D, and nothing outside of that. So it was also still like superficial. It was good, but it was like putting Band-Aid on a wound. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me, and I wasn't also at the level to say like, hey guys, I really want some connection. You know, but they're still great people. I like that. It was improvement. It's better, certainly an improvement from um just staying home all the time. Like, okay, I'm a homebody as well, but like I think there's a difference when you have this healthy solitude and isolation, because I think isolation is like we don't go out even though we we know there's goodness in the world, so at some level, and there are great people, but we say like what I was doing, isolating. I said no, there's no good people out there. People are bad. That's isolation. Right. Oh, I didn't even I skipped this part, but um also I believe dzień dobry, 2018 I joined this group called the Happy Shakespeareans. I'm not gonna say their actual name, but um, this is the thing. I was doing a lot of stuff in English, and I guess you could say I still do, but whatever. Um, And this group, this was recommended by my mom because she's like, oh, there's a theater group. They do it in English. Maybe you can connect. But was actually like most of the people were Polish. Just they were studying English and their English is quite good. So they were like, and I just felt like also isolated. Like I didn't belong there. I felt like odd one out. Um, and eventually we were doing this play I just didn't like, and I said, hey, I don't like this play, and um, I'm not gonna do this one. And I understand. I, I think I resigned like too late in the production of the play, or whatever. But I don't know. It wasn't like deep into production. It's like we were still just like reading the script like the first day or two, whatever. I don't remember the specifics. But this guy, like he was like the leader of it, the director. He's like, no. He's like, Vruch, Vruch. He's like, come back. Like, he's trying to also like call me. And I found as an introvert, like calling. I was like, holy moly. He's like, I don't care what you want. You're going to do this play. And this is something I have a deep. I don't know how to say. Like, I don't like authority. That's why I'm neutral good in most of my games. It was like, I think there has to be a balance between like this like gentle guidance and chaos, because I don't believe in 100% chaos, but at the same time, like it was trying to control me, man. Like trying to like my time, the way I was going to spend doing a play I didn't want to do. But anyway, it wasn't. I don't think it was the best environment for me either. So they kicked me out, which also like I got up all my fears that I'm broken. I'll never find friends. Something's fundamentally wrong with me, which is, the antithesis of self-compassion is self-hatred, right? So I just dug that hole deeper. Right? If I had the mindset I had now, it's like, you are a blessed son of God. You'll find your people. You'll find your people. First, love yourself. Love yourself. You know, nobody is going to love you as much as you're going to need to love yourself, right? You need to love yourself first. You need to. Like I said, it's not a want, it's a need. You need self-love. You need it because this is our connection to the divine, all that is, all the goodness that flows through you. This is self-love. You need it. You need it. I know I keep saying it because I needed to hear this 110,000 times over and over again because, like I said, I had this deep self-hatred, self-bereavement, self-loathing that was going inside this mind virus inside my head, right? And you can see how I was manifesting into isolation, right? But since I didn't have the self-compassion I do now, I saw, oh, something is wrong with Kahir. Kahir's a piece of garbage. He's alien. Honestly, I felt like an alien. Like I don't belong here. I don't belong anywhere. It sucks, man. It fucking sucks. What am I to say, right? If you have this mindset, right? If you have a disempowering mindset. But things get better. I'm going to get there. All right. Um, yeah, so I had really no hobbies. I tried volunteering because I still have like this people helper mentality. And I volunteered for this group and they gave food and clothes to the homeless. It was okay, but even like one of the founders was an amazing human being. So it was a positive experience. But however, I just didn't feel like it was for me. And also, uh, good for people helping, but at the same time, like I don't know, this is gonna sound bad, but like the homeless people there, they felt like entitled. They're going through clothes. They're like, oh, it's like I don't know. Do you have this in black? You know what I mean? Also, it feels like being dependent. They're like dependent on us, and I don't like that kind of help. That you're dependent on somebody else. I don't know. I mean, a good initiative, but it just didn't resonate 100%. Didn't resonate. All right. Actually, I connected like with some people, but also it just didn't work out. Didn't resonate at the level I don't want to seem entitled, but just like how to say this. Maybe it was just a stepping stone. It was a stepping stone. It didn't like resonate 100%. This is because I was feeling this is something I should do, not something I want to do. This is what shooting on yourself gets you. I had to learn that the hard way, right? Because there's a way you can meet people that resonates with you 110%, which is improv. I'm getting there. I'm going to edit this audio. Don't worry, as much as I can. All right, so that was like you can imagine very dark, dark path, isolating, um, kicking myself off my own team, always feeling it's my fault, and I understand. For my actions, yes, I was isolating, but I didn't, you know, self-compassion was a foreign concept to me, right? Because I feel this is, the love of the creator is self-compassion. That's when the actual change begins. Okay. Anyway, so in 2019, um, Zadkiel was like, "Oh, there's this improv group in Warsaw doing in English. Why don't you, why don't we just come to a show called XPro?" I've told them about this. I don't, some groups I'll give real names, some groups I won't. I don't know because it's important for my journey. So anyway, so this one, XProv, they did a show in the middle of the center. I think it was a Halloween or Thanksgiving show. I don't remember now. I think maybe a Halloween show. Yeah, and it was fun. It was okay. But, I was still like doing um, acting, or like at least I had this passion for acting that wasn't being acted upon. Um, and I was like in my head, I was like, this is okay, but imagine what I could do on stage. And I asked to join. They're like, oh, we're having auditions later, and eventually I found out they had auditions, and um, I just went. Um, we just like played the games, and I got accepted right away. I told this story about how that group dissolved, but still, I saw, but I was like, we would like consistently meet at least once a week, and I was having some connections, and I felt, though briefly, because we didn't really practice on those practices, the the flow of the divine going through me, the being in the flow state when I'm on stage, when I was improvising. It was just amazing. Like this, I was following the feeling of actual goodness, right? The joy that improv brought me. And then when COVID hit, and I told you like the personal drama of that group falling apart, um, me and uh, what we called it Y-Prov at the time. It was X-Prov, Y-Prov, some groups from that. So the newbies, really, we called ourselves Y-Prov. We met during the pandemic, though all these didn't for some reason. I guess they didn't see the point of it. But we wanted to really practice, and we practiced during the pandemic. Imagine that, right? We just wanted to. I wanted to do it to keep connection, also because I loved it, right? Um, and that really showed me the power of consistency. And also, I started slowly getting more into leadership role. I started planning our practices, and and then, so me and Tamara from YProv, like people left, so it was only just me and her, and we like sporadically we met like with other people, and we had this one girl come to a practices for a while, then she gave up because we didn't have any specific. This is the thing, we didn't even have a place, we didn't have a venue. It was just a dream. This is the thing. I think people don't understand. It's just like, especially in Warsaw, it's so hard to find like a venue where they'll hold you. Even now we are having kind of problems as an established group, but still, we didn't have a venue, didn't have a full troupe yet. Sometimes we had to cancel practices because people said, "Oh, I can't make it," and it was challenging. It was challenging. I had this dream. And I knew I just have to. This way we're already not Y-Prov anymore. We're Mixnuts, the current group we are now. Um, I had a dream that we can do it. We can do it. And for like my D&D contacts and other from summer camp, we had and people from Facebook, we had our first performance in 2021 in this very small pub. And it had like an open night mic. I remember like, oh, what's your group's name? We're like Mixnuts, and the guys started laughing. It was like just a 10-minute set, But honestly, it was like the best performance there, to be to be quite honest. You can imagine like open mic, some of the sets are not the best, but it, and I'm smiling right now because it's like uh, it showed me, even though it was something small, just 10 minutes, like hey, this can be something. This can be something. And we actually for the beginning half of 2022, we were still looking for people because we didn't find like um, we didn't have enough people like my contacts just weren't 100% committed to doing it, and whatever, something happened, so we're still looking for people. And I was like, okay, uh, I'll go to a jam, improv jam, and that's when I met Farkon. I'm not gonna use real names right now. Farkon. He was a fan of us for XPro, and then so we had a trio, me, Tamara, and Varkan. And we're like, okay, let's go to another improv jam together. Have an intention of finding people, and we did, and we got three other people, and then in June we did like a very also another like kind of open night mic. It was great. With this was set a group, and then Varkan found a person to have a venue, um, in Babylon Lounge. Oh, I'm using real names. Whatever. And it was like a hookah lounge. It smelled of hookah. Well, we had our first performance. With that, we actually sold tickets. And honestly, it wasn't the best. Like we had a 2-hour show, and all the scenes were about like a conflict or something. But at the same time, we did it. We did it. We did it. It's just, even at the time though, I felt awful because I had this intense inner critic telling me how bad of a performance it was. Now I look at back at it, it was like how brave of us. How brave of us, to have a performance, even though we're not 100% ready, even though maybe we still need to improve our skills. We still did it. And as I say, the rest is history. Um, we meet consistently on Thursdays. We've had huge success when it comes to improv. But I mean, for me, it's like huge. Like I said, we got a gig for a 5-star hotel to perform for NGO. That's amazing. That's amazing. It should be shouting to like how many improv groups can do that. And we stayed the night, and they had a vegan buffet. We had our first festival performance outside of Poland in Berlin. Uh, and I just hope to God that it'll keep growing. It looks like it is. I'm very proud of it. Um, Moral of the story is, you know, consistency. Consistency is key. I know maybe it's a platitude, but it showed me that if you don't give up on yourself and you know who you are, you're a blessed son of God, you have a gift to give to this world, keep going. Keep going, please. And now, and the consistency opened up to also like other avenue in life. I did like activism. I still we'll see. Hopefully, I'll do activism this month. But slowing down a little bit, and but yeah, because I joined this vegan group, animal activist group. I met like-minded people, vegan people that honestly salt of the earth. I love them so much. I because I made the consistent effort to let's do once a week now. Relaxing a bit, but still, like it's there. We also meet outside of just activism. I know I'm just trying to get at it, guys. That what seemed impossible was this a dream is a reality, and I suffered so long, alone and isolated. And I know so many of my brothers and sisters are like that, feeling there's no way out. Nobody loves them. Nobody even likes them, and that's how I felt. Nobody even likes me. I'm saying there's a way out, and you can. This is just my journey. It doesn't have to be improv. It could be whatever inspires you. Because I know who you are. I know who you are. You are a divine, blessed Son of God, as perfect as God created you. And you have so many gifts to give to this world. You are so lovely, even if you don't feel it right now. You can do it. Uh, And I just want to be like the sun coach for you. All right. Is you're much too tolerant of mind wandering. And for me, it's like you're much too tolerant of bullshit, right? Bullshit behavior and also bullshit limiting beliefs, right? I'm not saying this to shame you. I'll never shame. I'll never guilt you. Never. Never. Because I know who you are. But it's about knowing who you are, who you really are, your infinite potential. Right? And infinite potential could just mean taking a single step in resonance, whatever lights you up. I mean, this is my story. My story from darkness to light. It's real. It's real. Right? I could look at myself through the eyes of contempt like I used to, be like, oh, here's a piece of garbage. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He has lacking social skills. And I was ashamed of that. Instead of being like, maybe the way the system is telling me how to make real connections is not for me. Also, love holds no comparisons. Right? Wherever you are in this journey of connection, like I was, someone could be at level, 31 and you're at level 7. You know, don't judge, someone's, I forgot the phrase, but do you know what I mean? Like, someone's level 31, good for them. You're level 7. Keep going, right? Because during our beginning practices, I remember sharing to Varkan or to the group, like, oh, I used to be so closed off, and now I feel like I'm starting to be more open. And Varkan was like, oh, this is you open? Because, I wasn't 100% open. Like, let's say I was, I don't know, 30% open. I used to be, zero, like almost like 10% open, 0%, so that's 30% from zero is an amazing improvement. It's an amazing improvement. But I was comparing myself to an unrealistic standard that like I have to open up immediately. But I didn't realize how much trauma I was still stored in my body. How much disempowering trauma stories I had about other people. Right? See PTSD. It's not, it's a heavy thing, you know. But you go with small improvements, small consistent effort. It'll pay off because you were worth it. You were worth it, right? Having one decent connection, one good enough connection is better than zero, right? Going out for 30 minutes. I'm just I'm just saying, going out for 30 minutes is better than staying in for zero if you're feeling called to go out, right? This is my story, right? And the joy I feel about living in alignment to my purpose. Right? I had this, my spiritual journey discovering that I'm here to feel joy beyond measure and spread that joy onto others. That's what the creator told me. That's how I do it for Mixnuts. I feel joy beyond measure and I spread that onto others. And actually creating something of true value, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I hope it keeps growing. And this is moral of the story, or what I've learned is work with yourself. Work with yourself. Remember what I said, be on your own team. Because I had said this a contemptuous relationship that I had to push and berate myself to get what I want. And didn't get me what I really wanted. Work with yourself, commune with the divine, with the Holy Spirit, the everlasting love, this unconditional love within you. Work with Him. Work with Him. Right? When I was going with the ego script, this world script, like, oh, go out to bars, go to expat meetings. Yeah, that worked out for me great. Yeah. No, it didn't. When I worked with myself, I was like, who am I? All right. I'm an actor. I always loved acting. Let's do acting. I was afraid. I was afraid at first. I didn't believe in myself. I was like, am I good enough? Am I good enough to create an improv group, co-create an improv group? And I, am I good enough? Am I capable of enough? Take the risk that love exists. You know, take the gamble that love exists and take some action. Right. The smallest willingness. That's all it takes. Right. And your journey is going to be completely different than my journey, and embrace it. Right. Your unique talents, your unique thought forms, your unique belief system. Right. Whatever inspires you, whatever Really, it could be. There's amazing people out there. Amazing people out there. People that really nourish me, and I love them, and they love me. Right? And I understand when we're in the trenches, it feels like we're alone in this world, but we're not, right? Because we're never alone because we have the Holy Spirit with us, always, always, always. And also, what I learned on this journey is like also from Arnold Schwarzenegger's never listen to the naysayers. you know, um, During the beginning of our practices, we had this guy. Let's call him. Um, let's maybe. Let's call him Marek. Yeah, Marek joined our group, and we just didn't gel. And he's like, "You guys are really bad. Like your humor is shallow. Read this book. Read this book, and then actually let's practice for a whole year, then have performances. How about no?" Like messy action. This is my philosophy that's changed my whole entire life because of the perfectionist tendencies I had from CPTSD. Messy action. Messy action. Imperfect action. Be okay with taking these videos, imperfect action. But it's better than just wishing and wanting, Just if I waited for the perfect moment or making the perfect improv group, who knows what would have happened, right? Messy action. Being okay, it's not going to be perfect. You can always improve later. I know it's a platitude until you live it. Until you live it, right? Because I was so stuck in this perfectionist mentality that everything I have to do is perfect, or else it's garbage. It's not worth it. Like, come on, how can you improve? How can you improve if you just? I know someone resonates with this, right? It's getting outside of our head and just getting into creation, right? Creation is messy. It's supposed to be messy. Embrace the messiness. Embrace it. You are so loved. You are so loved beyond measure. It's okay to get messy. It's okay wherever you are. It's okay. I'm just trying to get you take some movement. Take some movement in the higher timeline. Whatever version of you feels like the higher timeline. I'm not saying leave all this alpha version. No, just like whatever. As what this journey of healing has really told me is, or taught me, is you have an amazing guidance system. You do. Your higher self, your soul, the divine, whatever you want to call it. It knows. It knows this excitement we have, this joy we feel, inspiration. Just follow it. Really follow it. Even if you're bad in the beginning, you can always grow and learn. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. But I can tell you, if I didn't see that show, if I didn't take that messy action, where would I be? There wouldn't be a Mixnuts. I wouldn't have this. Like honestly, like for improv standards, is a huge success in my eyes. How many improv groups that go to 5-star hotels? It happened once. I know it just happened once, but still, think of it. Think of a beautiful, amazing of a creation that was. The amazing feeling I had that I was able to give my actors money, like real tangible money, and they got to stay in a hotel. They got fed an amazing buffet because we were just putting ourselves out there, and they reached out to us. It's amazing. It's amazing. I know this is external, but I'm just saying, like, I couldn't even imagine that. I couldn't even imagine that possibility. Do you know what I mean? So you don't know where this action is going to take you. You don't know. This is having faith and consistent action. Faith and consistent action. As I believe in you. I believe in you wherever you are, whatever your dream is to create. I believe in you. But you have to believe in yourself, right? Identify any limiting beliefs you have about yourself, any negative stories, disempowering stories you have, and heal it. Bring it to use the holy mirror. I'll put in the description, whatever resonates with you, right? Dissolve this barrier of love you have to yourself. Because I tell you what, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun being isolated. It wasn't fun feeling I was a piece of garbage because it was an illusion. It wasn't true. It was never true. It's never true. It was never true for you. No matter where you are, no matter what's happened in your life, whatever your circumstances are, know you are loved. You are loved beyond human understanding by the divine, by the Holy Spirit. And I'm gonna keep repeating this because I wish I heard it a million times over and over again. Because you just remember you are loved. Right? You are amazing. You're an amazing creation of the divine. And whatever wants to be expressed through you, let it and see where it takes you. All right. I think that's it for today. May the Holy Spirit light up your path wherever it takes you, and take care.